When Home Alone arrived in theaters during the winter of 1990, it didn't just become a hit, it became a tradition. Families gathered around television screens year after year, drawn back by Kevin McCallister's impossibly clever schemes, the slapstick agony of two hapless criminals, and the kind of Christmas warmth that lingers long after the credits roll. Macaulay Culkin's wide-eyed, quick-witted performance turned a simple premise into something genuinely timeless. A boy, alone in a big house, protecting everything he loves with nothing but creativity and courage. The film didn't just capture the holiday spirit, it became part of it. Now, as 2026 arrives, we look back at the remarkable people who brought this cherished story to life and ask the question every fan eventually wonders. Whatever happened to them? He was 10 years old, standing alone in a massive house, and somehow carrying an entire blockbuster on his small shoulders. And he did it brilliantly. Macaulay Culkin's portrayal of Kevin McCallister was a genuinely magnetic performance packed with comedic precision and remarkable screen confidence. Born August 26, 1980 in New York City, Culkin was just 10 years old during production in 1990. Every trap he set, every smirk he flashed, every quiet moment of loneliness he conveyed helped transform Home Alone into a generational landmark. His timing was extraordinary for any actor, let alone one barely a decade old. Today, Culkin is 45 years old and remains active through acting, podcasting, producing, and warmly embraced nostalgic appearances tied to the film that first made the world fall in love with him. No screen mother has ever made Panic look quite so simultaneously heartbreaking and hilarious as Katherine O'Hara did as Kate McCallister. Born March 4, 1954, in Toronto, Canada, O'Hara was 36 years old when she stepped into the role in 1990. She gave Kate a frantic desperation that never felt manufactured. The guilt, the urgency, the absolute refusal to stop until she reached her son were all heartbreakingly real beneath the comedy. Her scenes grounded the film emotionally in ways audiences deeply felt. Without her, the movie's emotional center would have collapsed entirely. Devastatingly, Katherine O'Hara passed away on January 30, 2026, at the age of 71, from a pulmonary embolism, with rectal cancer identified as an underlying condition. No one schemes quite like Joe Pesci. As Harry, the self-appointed mastermind of the Wet Bandits, Pesci delivered one of the decade's most gleefully entertaining villainous performances, all barely contained fury and catastrophically bad decision-making. Born February 9, 1943, in Newark, New Jersey, Pesci was 47 years old during filming in 1990. He brought a volatile, coiled energy to Harry that transformed what could have been a simple cartoon criminal into something genuinely compelling. His explosive frustration each time Kevin outwitted him became the film's comic engine, and his chemistry with Daniel Stern produced a partnership audiences still celebrate. Currently 83 years old, Pesci has largely withdrawn from Hollywood, stepping back into the spotlight only occasionally for select projects and public appearances. If Harry was the brains, Marv was the catastrophically willing body, and Daniel Stern made every agonizing moment unforgettable. Born August 28, 1957, in Bethesda, Maryland, Stern was 33 years old when he brought Marv to chaotic, rubber-limbed life in 1990. His physical commitment was extraordinary. Every stumble, scream, and collision performed with full-body dedication that turns pain into pure comedy gold. Whether shrieking at a tarantula or catching a paint can squarely in the face, Stern's reactions carried a joyful absurdity inseparable from the film's identity. His partnership with Pesci created one of cinema's most perfectly mismatched criminal duos. Now 68 years old, Stern remains actively creative, pursuing acting, directing, sculptural artwork, and various independent projects. Some actors walk into a single scene and make you feel as though you've known their character your entire life. John Candy was that kind of performer, and his appearance as Gus Pollinski, the self-proclaimed polka king of the Midwest, remains one of Home Alone's most treasured moments. Born October 31, 1950, in Newmarket, Ontario, Canada, Candy was 40 years old in 1990. His rambling, good-natured conversation with Kate McCallister carried more genuine human kindness than scenes 10 times its length. Even within limited screen time, Candy made Gus feel fully alive, funny, real, and deeply lovable. Heartbreakingly, John Candy passed away on March 4, 1994, at just 43 years old, after suffering a heart attack while on a film shoot in Mexico. Some actors walk into a single scene and make you feel as though you've known their character your entire life. John Candy was that kind of performer, and his appearance as Gus Pollinski, the self-proclaimed polka king of the Midwest, remains one of Home Alone's most treasured moments. Born October 31, 1950, in Newmarket, Ontario, Canada, Candy was 40 years old in 1990. His rambling, good-natured conversation with Kate McCallister carried more genuine human kindness than scenes 10 times its length. Even within limited screen time, Candy made Gus feel fully alive, funny, real, and deeply lovable. Heartbreakingly, John Candy passed away on March 4, 1994, at just 43 years old, after suffering a heart attack while on a film shoot in Mexico. He first appeared as a figure shrouded in neighborhood legend, a silent, unsettling presence with a frightening reputation. Yet Robert's Blossom gradually revealed Old Man Marley as something far more moving, a lonely grandfather quietly carrying the weight of estrangement. Born March 25, 1924, in New Haven, Connecticut, Blossom was 66 years old when he delivered one of the film's most quietly powerful performances in 1990. His church scene with young Macaulay Culkin stands as Home Alone's most emotionally resonant moment. Two lonely souls reminding each other what family truly means. Blossom brought stillness and tenderness that gave the film its deepest emotional dimension. He passed away on July 8, 2011, at the age of 87, following complications from a stroke. Long before award ceremonies began calling his name, Kieran Culkin was already demonstrating effortless charm at just 8 years old, playing Kevin's notoriously bedwetting, Pepsi-obsessed cousin Fuller with irresistible comedic instinct. Born September 30, 1982, in New York City, Culkin was only 8 during the 1990 production, appearing alongside his older brother Macaulay in a pairing that brought unmistakable real-life sibling chemistry. Fuller's mischievous grin and soda-fueled enthusiasm made him a fan favorite despite minimal screen time. It was an early glimpse of a performer who would eventually grow into one of his generation's most celebrated actors. Now 43 years old, Kieran Culkin has earned widespread critical acclaim and major awards recognition for transformative work in both television and film. She delivered Kevin's most memorable put-down with perfect deadpan conviction, and Angela Goethals made every sharp-tongued moment count as Linnie McCallister. Born May 23, 1977, in New York City, Goethals was 13 years old when she appeared in 1990, playing Kevin's dismissive older sister, whose impatient attitude contributed beautifully to the sibling atmosphere that made the McCallister household feel authentic. Her eye-rolling energy was perfectly calibrated, adding personality and comic texture to an already crowded family ensemble. Though her screen presence was relatively brief, her contribution to the film's memorable opening tension remained unmistakable. As of 2026, Goethals is 48 years old and has largely built her professional life outside major Hollywood productions. As older brothers go, Buzz McCallister set a particular standard. Magnificently obnoxious, effortlessly cruel, and somehow still hilarious at every turn. Devin Ratray inhabited the role with committed, gleeful awfulness that left audiences laughing while sympathizing entirely with Kevin. Born January 11, 1977 in New York City, Ratray was 13 years old during production in 1990, bringing swaggering teenage arrogance to Buzz that felt completely authentic. His infamous tarantula moment, domineering bedroom presence, and relentless harassment of Kevin established the exact conditions that made being accidentally left behind almost feel understandable. Now 49 years old, Ratray remains active through television, independent film, voice acting, and enthusiastic convention appearances celebrating the film's enduring legacy. Some relatives show up to holiday gatherings purely to complain, and Uncle Frank McCallister made that personality type into a comedic art form. Gerry Bamman played the chronically cheap, relentlessly grumbling relative with such cheerful commitment to unpleasantness that he became one of the film's most quotable supporting presences. Born September 27, 1941, in Lincoln, Nebraska, Bamman was 49 years old when he joined the production in 1990. His dismissive treatment of Kevin and obsessive concern over expenses added perfectly timed irritation to the chaotic household, and audiences genuinely relished disliking him. Presently 84 years old, Bamman has sustained a rich, long-running career spanning theater, television, and film across the many decades since Home Alone. The entire plot of Home Alone hinges on one rushed, mistaken head count, and Kristen Minter's Heather performed that fateful miscalculation with completely believable, frantic authenticity. Born November 4, 1965, in Atlanta, Georgia, Minter was 25 years old when she played Kevin's older cousin in 1990, portraying Heather as the designated responsible one, desperately trying to manage a herd of uncooperative children before the airport rush. Her hurried tally, accidentally counting a neighbor child instead of Kevin, set every subsequent event in motion, making her role structurally indispensable. Her natural ease within the large ensemble helped the McCallister dynamics feel convincing and alive. Currently 60 years old, Minter continues building her career through television, film, and independent creative endeavors. With a face audiences immediately recognized and a delivery style entirely his own, Larry Hankin brought wonderfully offbeat energy to Officer Balzac, the skeptical policeman who barely takes Kate McCallister's desperate phone call seriously. Born August 31, 1937 in New York City, Hankin was 53 years old during the 1990 production, drawing on decades of character work to create a brief but memorable presence. His unusual mannerisms and dry, slightly suspicious expression perfectly suited the film's quirky comedic register. Viewers familiar with the era's television landscape often recognized him immediately, connecting his performance to a long catalog of memorable supporting roles. Currently 88 years old, Hankin continues appearing selectively in entertainment projects, remaining warmly regarded by fans of classic American comedy. Among the older McCallister siblings, Megan stood apart, slightly more patient, noticeably more protective, offering Kevin a touch of genuine warmth amid a relentless chorus of teasing. Hilary Wolf brought a softer, more grounded presence to the chaotic household that made her dynamic with Kevin feel meaningfully different. Born September 7, 1977 in Palo Alto, California, Wolf was 13 years old during the 1990 production, contributing to the film's large family ensemble with quiet but effective naturalism. Her presence added emotional balance to the McCallister children's group dynamic throughout the opening sequences. Now 49 years old, Wolf built an extraordinary second chapter outside entertainment entirely, going on to represent the United States in judo at the Olympic Games, a remarkable achievement reflecting exceptional drive and discipline. Amid the controlled bedlam of the McCallister household, Jeff occupied that particular sibling role every large family recognizes. Energetic enough to add to the chaos, sarcastic enough to make it memorable. Michael C. Maronna brought natural, unforced personality to the part, slotting comfortably into the ensemble without ever feeling like mere background scenery. Born September 23, 1977 in New York City, Maronna was 13 years old during filming in 1990, bringing convincing teenage energy that contributed to the believable sibling chemistry the film required. His interactions helped sell the authenticity of an extended family pushed just past its organizational breaking point. As of 2026, Maronna is 48 years old and remains active through television work, production projects, and nostalgic appearances. Fitting seamlessly into the buzzing, argument-filled McCallister household, Senta Moses gave Tracy a sharp, lively edge that complemented the film's ensemble chaos beautifully. Born March 17, 1974 in Los Angeles, California, Moses was 17 years old when she appeared in 1990, contributing her natural comedic timing to the sibling dynamics that made Kevin's wish to be rid of his family almost understandable. Her teasing interactions helped build the family tension running through the film's entire first act, and her presence added authenticity to the crowded holiday household. Now 52 years old, Moses has continued working steadily in television, film, and voice acting throughout her long and varied entertainment career. Quietly completing the lively McCallister family picture, Diana Rein appeared as Sondra, one of the many cousins whose collective presence made the film's opening feel genuinely energetic and believably overcrowded. Born in 1978, Rein was just 12 years old when she joined the beloved holiday production in 1990, becoming part of the large ensemble that audiences remember as one seamless, chaotic family unit. Though her individual role was smaller compared to more central characters, her presence helped strengthen the collective family dynamic that gave the film its heart. The ensemble worked together to create the unforgettable feeling of a real extended family overwhelmed by holiday madness. Presently 48 years old, Rein later pursued work spanning entertainment, music, and martial arts beyond her early acting career. Calm, steady, and helping complete the bustling McCallister extended family, Terri Snell appeared as Aunt Leslie, one of the warm, familiar faces populating the film's energetic opening. Born in 1944, Snell was 46 years old when she joined the beloved holiday production in 1990, adding another convincing layer to the large family preparing for their Christmas journey to Paris. Though her role was relatively modest, her contribution helped make the crowded household atmosphere feel organic and real rather than staged. The constant rushing, overlapping conversations, and cheerful family chaos became an essential part of what audiences loved about the film's unforgettable beginning. As of 2026, Snell is 82 years old and remains fondly remembered by fans of classic holiday cinema. More than 3 decades have passed since Kevin McCallister first booby-trapped that house on Lincoln Boulevard, yet Home Alone continues arriving every Christmas like a beloved old friend, familiar, comforting, and somehow still capable of making audiences laugh just as hard as they did the very first time. The people who brought this story to life, some still thriving, some tragically gone, all forever woven into the fabric of holiday memory, gave the world something genuinely irreplaceable. Which moment from the film still catches you off guard with laughter or unexpected emotion? Let us know in the comments below. And don't forget to like, subscribe, and stay with us for more journeys back through the stories and faces that defined the movies we'll never stop loving.